Rockets are looking good going into this season. They had a game on Monday against the San Antonio Spurs. They're actually going to play them tonight. In that game, San Antonio was more physical. They were playing at a different pace than we was in that first quarter. Houston had to catch up with the speed, but it was a second and a third string unit that actually got them back in the game. Now, we'll take a win the way we can take it. It wasn't no victorious win or nothing like that. It is preseason, but it was a win. And if you can stay undefeated in the preseason, going into the regular season, it does a wonderful job for your confidence. So we're not going to take that as a slouch, getting a win against San Antonio. Anytime you win against San Antonio, it's a plus in my book. But it was a second and third string that got us back in the game. So Houston needed something like that. It seemed like they was on this high horse, coming in this season. New system and everything, playing well, defense is locked in, and they haven't got hit in the mouth really yet. Well, San Antonio in that first quarter, or you can say first half, knocked them in the mouth. So you want to see what this team is built like when they hit controversy, or they're in a slump, or things ain't going their way and a team is getting the best of them. You want to see how they're going to respond to that. Well, the second group showed something. Might have a bench coming in this season. I can see that happening. We can have one of the best benches in the league, depending on what kind of players we're going to keep and who's going to get cut. But look like Houston going to have a pretty good bench. Like I said, I'm just worried about the center position. I really am. Now, Alperen Sengun in that game, and hopefully we don't see too much of that in this season. Emu Doka pulled him to the side because I'm sitting there wondering the same thing. He was a little sped up. This pump faking I just don't like for Alperen Sengun. It's too much second guessing himself. It's too many ball fakes, and he gets himself in trouble. Just like down low underneath, he had an easy layup, but he wants to shuffle his feet, get extra dribbles, and ended up traveling. So this guy just needs to get in his head. He just needs to shoot the ball. Quit worrying about the defenders and who's around him. I think he can make easy layups. He's making it too tough on himself with all the pump faking, even on threes, down low. Everything is him second guessing himself, and he shouldn't be doing it. He's too good to be worried about who's around him. Sometimes just go up for the shot. Go up for the shot because you're turning the ball over. And another thing, quit whining on all these calls. Every time he goes up, he feel like he's been hit. He's whining. He's throwing his hand in the air. Who that remind you of? James Harden in my book. Quit whining and get back on defense and play the game. Don't be a crybaby, because it's not a good look in the league or in the game if you sitting up there with a sour look on your face, throwing your hands up. Too good of a player to be showing that on the floor. So I hope he can get it together. I like when Emu Doka pulled him out for just a few seconds and threw him back in the game and just says a few words to him, tell him to slow down. You're a little sped up. Just take your time and just shoot your shot. Because I'm going to tell you, that's coaching. How many coaches you see that does that? That's an old school tactic right there. Now, Greg Popovich, I've seen him do that in the past. Great coaches will take a player out for a few seconds to say something to him on the sideline and then put him right back into the game. And Alperen Sengun needed that because he was a little flustered, it seemed like, speeding up, trying to move too fast. And I think he got settled down throughout the game after he had that little talk with Emmy. So we got to expect big things from him, and he has to understand that. And one way to get that corrected is in preseason. So going into the regular season, he'll have a better, more feel of what's expected of him. He don't have to try to win the game all by himself. Just pick your spots. When we give it to you down low, make your move. I mean, I know you like to do 100 dribbles and all these pump fakes. Certain time and situation in the game, that could be good, but you don't have to do that on every time you touch the ball. Because you're going to fake yourself out your own move. You're going to end up traveling. You're going to end up losing the ball or have some of these guards come by and take the ball away from you. Just get it, a couple of dribbles, go up strong, or get into your action where you're going to do the jump hook, fade away, or whatever your move is. Get into that action. So I'm just hoping you clean it up. We don't need all that ball faking and stuff, and quit all the whining. Like I said, Alperen Sengun, you're too good of a player to be whining for calls. You're not going to get them. Now at this point, you got to put in work. Refs see you putting in work, going up strong, they're going to give you the call. You don't have to whine for it. But if you're sitting there on every play, whining and going on, oh yeah, they're going to take care of something. Going up, flaring your arms, you're not going to get a call in this league. So put in your body of work. They'll respect you. They'll respect that game. They'll know you're going in strong in your moves, and you'll get those calls. But you got to pay your dues first, Alperen Sengun. So hoping he clears that up, because we're going to need him big in that paint for this season coming up. bigs, mostly on defense. I'm not even worried about his offense. We know he's kind of polished on offense, but defense is going to be the key for Apper Şengün going against these big men in this league. Then you got Jock Landale coming off, and then you got Boban as well. I almost want to put Boban in front of Jock Landale, to be honest with you, just because of the height. Just because you have somebody physically strong and tall in that middle that you got to think about when you drive into the hole. Whether he's slow or not, he's still a big body. He can grab you some rebounds. He can adjust some shots. So he might can play in spurts. I don't know on floor. I don't think he'll play a lot of minutes. I wouldn't try to give Boban a lot of minutes at this tender age in his career. But overall, they played San Antonio well. Didn't get to see Wemby in that game. Maybe tonight they might play Wemby a little bit, but if not, it is what it is. Preseason is narrowing down. Teams trying to get ready. They don't want to risk any injury or anything like that. And plus, they got some players they want to look at going into regular season. See who they're going to cut, who they're going to keep, who can be a good piece in their rotation. So Houston Rockets, man, it's looking good going into this season. They just have to get a few things cleared up and stay intensified on that defense. Like M. Udoka said, when shots are not going, you can't drop your head. You ain't making shots. Still pick it up on defense. Get you some steals. Get some open court runaways so you can get some layups and get back in a groove again. But the defense has to stay intensified for us to even be competitive in a lot of these ball games. Because if defense is not there, you're going to get blown out a lot of ball games. I mean, Houston has to play at a skyrocket level game in and game out just to stay in ball games, because they do have a lot of talent. They don't have a big number one guy, superstar, so to speak, to carry them through games. They play more of a collective unit as a team and got some subpar all-stars on their team if they jump to the next level. But you come in there half-assing it in this regular season, you're going to get hit in the mouth real hard. So they have to play with their hair on fire in a lot of ball games, mostly all the ball games. You might be favorable in some games, maybe. You can go ahead and get the best of some teams, but you have talent, but y'all are new. You're not together. You're just learning this system. And you can have some stumps in the offense here and there, and defense is where you got to lay your hat to bring that offense back to where it needs to be throughout a game. So do not lose that defensive intensity. So Houston against San Antonio Spurs tonight. Check it out. It'll be a good one, especially if Wemby's playing and Jalen Green gets out there. Be some good action to watch. But yes, Kevin Porter Jr. is gone. Traded to OKC, which they've waived him immediately. They probably waived him when he was on a plane. Sent it to him DocuSign on the plane to sign that waiver. But I don't see him playing in the league, like I say. But don't wish nothing bad on him. Just wish him the best. Get counseling that he needs. And if an opportunity come down the road, I mean, I doubt it. I wouldn't really take too much of a chance on him because he's had a lot of chances. He really have. And this situation is just unfortunate to be that young and wasting that NBA talent. It just doesn't make sense to me. But let's get into this article with Kevin Porter Jr. The Houston Rockets have traded guard Kevin Porter Jr. and 2 future second-round picks to the Oklahoma City Thunder. The team announced on Tuesday night the Thunder will be immediately waiving Porter, sources told ESPN on Tuesday. The Rockets are getting Victor Oladipo and Jeremiah Robinson Earl in the deal that will send a 2027 second-round pick via the Minnesota Timberwolves and a 2028 second-round pick via the Milwaukee Bucks to the Thunder, sources told ESPN. Essentially, the deal allows the Thunder to gather up draft assets and requires them to pay the $16.9 million of guaranteed salary left on Porter's new 4-year contract and saves the Rockets $5.5 million in salary. Porter's future in the NBA is in significant question after he was arrested for an alleged attack on girlfriend Kirsey Gondrezick, a former WNBA player, at the Millennium Hilton near the United Nations on September 11th in New York. So it's good that Houston was able to get off of it. They can move forward, like I said, get into the season without that cloud over their heads. front office, they need to identify things like this. I mean, they gave Kevin Porter Jr., I mean, he had this over his head before the Rockets picked him up, and they took a chance on him. They took a big chance on him. And that's why I think Stone, he's on the hot seat. Everybody's been talking about it, and he should be on the hot seat. This year, they have to beat the win total. I don't think they have a problem with that, beating 22 wins from last season. That shouldn't be a problem at all. But like I say, battling for a play-in spot, I say that's success for this season. Of course, we want to move further, but if Stone want to save his job, so to speak, don't make any more bad deals, and not only that, knock on a door to a play-in, I think that can save your job and moving forward. Because after you battle for a play-in, then the next season get into the playoffs. That's progress. Then move forward and you start thinking about a second round in the playoffs and so forth. That can keep you your job, because there's a lot of talent on this ball club, like I said before. You need to tweak it a little bit. We got to find a big man, whether it's going to be this season or next season, but we need somebody that's stout, that's going to be able to handle that paint with guys running in there and banging against these superstar players in the league that are big men, because that's a weak spot. But for us guards and forwards, we got that full. This team is well talented in that area, and now you have the coaching staff. So Houston Rockets, man, great things are coming up. I feel it. We just can't make these little blunt head moves anymore that's been in the past, getting washed up players and things like that, or trying to sell the goat to get the cow. So you can't make any more deals like that. You got to go through the process with these young players, because you got a talented group. You really do. So Houston Rockets tonight against San Antonio. Tune in, especially if Wemby's playing, Jalen Green. That rivalry is going to be reborn in the regular season. It's going to be exciting to watch them battle, because it's going to be some high intense games with these two teams. Very high intense. So tune in to that. So Philadelphia Eagles done picked up Julio Jones.